Support for this podcast comes from the Phil Smith Center for Free Enterprise at the FAU College of Business. The Phil Smith Center for Free Enterprise supports the vision and strategic plan of the College of Business to advance thought leadership in business. The center supports chaired professorships and research, educational programs for faculty members and students, distinguished visiting faculty, along with a lecture series and other educational programs focused on the principles of free enterprise and how those principles affect growth and prosperity. Learn more at business.fau.edu/Phil Smith.
Hello, my name is Dan Gropper, and I'm the Dean of the College of Business here at Florida Atlantic University. And in today's introduction to our new faculty, I'd like to introduce Inkyoung Hur. She's a new faculty member here in our Department of Information Technology and Operations Management, or as we call it, ITOM. And Inkyoung comes to us from Nova Southeastern University, where she had been a faculty member for a number of years. She earned her PhD at Florida International University after earning a master's degree at Purdue in industrial engineering with a dual emphasis in statistics, and she earned her undergraduate degree, a Bachelor of Science in Industrial Engineering at Pusan National University in Korea. So Inkyoung, welcome to FAU. We're glad to have you.
Thank you, Dean Gropper. I'm very happy to join FAU, and I really appreciate hiring me at FAU in the College of Business.
Great. Well, I like to talk to the new faculty about their research interests and their teaching interests. So let's start with the research, please. It looks to me like some of your recent work has been on looking at mobile devices and information security behavior. Talk to us a little bit about that, because everybody's carrying a mobile device around with them, and it's got all sorts of information on it. So data security is obviously a key issue.
Yes, I'm very interested in mobile devices with the information security behavior. So I got 2 journal publications from that project. And one is in the mobile information security behavior with some factors that influence the behavior of people. So we developed the research models with related mobile information security behavior, and then test the research model with the survey data. And another journal publications about developing a framework on cyber slacking behavior. So cyber slacking is defined as behavior to use a computer or the mobile devices at work. So it is kind of negative behavior, but we provide some framework based on the relationship between the employees' commitment and productivity and cyber slacking behavior. And it was tested with the empirical data.
So cyber slacking, is this like people getting taking time away from work to shop online as one of those emails comes in, and so they put aside the real work for a while and look at the catalog that came in their email? Is that the kind of thing you're talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes it blocks some productivities of employees. So the organization block to have those kind of behavior.
Yeah, it's obviously a key issue for a lot of managers and for a lot of people, particularly as we move to remote working. It's probably a bigger problem than it used to be. Okay, so that's very interesting. Mobile cyber slacking. I wasn't familiar with that phrase before. It looks like you've also done some work in health data reporting. So you've done some things, I guess, and this is about the health data that's included that might be on your mobile device, it might be on a regular computer, and so on. Tell us a little bit about that.
So my dissertation is about the effect of social media hospital mobile app on the process change. And I'm more focused on the effect of social media platform. We call it integrated social media platform. And then we investigate the effect of that use on the interaction between the patient and physicians. using process mining and data mining and text mining algorithms. And another related project is developing prediction models for the choice of treatment for the kidney disease patient. So when the kidney disease patient choose dialysis treatment, and we provide some suggestions to better decisions on the appropriate dose and then timing.
Very good, very good. Well, it sounds like you're off to a very good start. Even as a relatively new assistant professor, you got a great research record so far, a great start, and some very interesting projects that you're working on. I see one that's here that is looking at financial supply chains. So this is closer to my areas of research. I looked at banking and financial systems, but you may be looking at capital flows around the world or capital flows in different areas. And so what is that project about?
So financial supply chain piece that determine the payment cost that are minimized after considering invoices and cash flow. So typically supply chain deal with the material flow and information flow, but this deal with the financial information instead of those information.
Ah, very good. Very good. Well, that's important and very interesting kinds of topics. Some of our faculty in the finance department and accounting are looking at similar kinds of topics in terms of crowdsourcing and fintech generally. And so there may be some opportunities for you to work with some people and collaborate on some interesting projects. Our accounting folks are doing some things on financial security and fraud reporting too, that particularly as we look at international financial supply chains become particularly important. So something to think about.
Okay.
It looks like you have a very strong background in data analytics and in terms of a data analysis. And I know that this is an area that we have worked on building here in this college. And you're one of 3 new hires in ITOM this year that really helped bolster that area for us. What are you teaching this fall? Are you teaching a data analytics class or some other similar kinds of things?
So for this fall semester, I'm teaching in 2 courses in information security. So one is the business data communication course, and the other one is the information security, cybersecurity course.
Okay, very good. So cybersecurity and information security. Do you know what you're teaching yet in the spring? Is it going to be something similar, or are you branching out a little bit?
I believe, something similar courses, to teach.
Okay, very good. So in terms of your prior teaching, what other courses have you taught up to this point?
So at my previous academic institute, I taught business analytics course and information visualization course. That are main thing. And then I taught the database management course.
Good. So the database management, systems analysis and design, and then analysis of the data that you've helped build. So that's a great set of skills, and our students certainly need to work on those areas. So that's great. Very good. Now, if I look back at your career a little bit, I noticed that you won some awards there at Florida International University where you did your doctoral work. You won a presidential fellowship, which was a recognition for some of their top PhD students. Is that correct?
Yes, when I started my PhD program at FAU, and then I got the presidential fellowship. So I was one of the 6 recipients. So it was very honorable moment for me.
Well, I know some of your committee members, and they're very distinguished folks, Joyce Elam and William Newberry. So they're good people. We're glad to have you here joining us. I also notice, and one of my favorite things with new faculty is the fact that you worked as a data analyst with Samsung Corporation for a number of years. It looks like 5 or so years in South Korea. Is that true?
Right. Yeah, I worked at Samsung for 5 years as data analyst. So the Samsung is kind of the information security, information system development company. And the department I worked is the process and quality management team. So I participate the process project audit, and also I participate to obtain the CMMI level 5. So that actually emphasized on the optimization and then data management.
That's excellent. It's excellent stuff. I was fortunate enough a few years back to visit Samsung in Korea with a group of our executive MBA students at the time, and we had a fascinating visit. We saw them. We saw Hyundai. We went to the Hyundai shipyards, and that made a lasting impression because to watch those big cargo ships get built in sections and then put together was phenomenal. And then also there's such strong linkages between our two countries, between South Korea and the United States. And I was very fortunate when I was at my prior university, Auburn University. Hyundai and Kia built automotive plants along the I-85 corridor there. And so my church actually had a Korean church come and join us in the afternoon. On Sunday afternoons, they would come in and do some things there, do their services as a way of kind of being part of the community and getting started. Also, I will share that my dad, who's still with us, who's 90 years old, when he was a very young boy, served in the Korean conflict. And so he was an air traffic controller way back when. And when he came and visited us at Auburn, the Korean people that we had with us, the people in the community, all went, and I was so impressed because they went and thanked him for his role as a 19-year-old to come over and do his part as an Air Force. He landed planes. He was an air traffic control guy. So it's the linkages between our two countries are long and important. And we're so glad to welcome you as a new faculty member here to FAU.
Thank you for your time. And yeah, I really appreciate it.
To learn more about the FAU College of Business, please visit business.fau.edu.
Dean Gropper Presents is part of the FAU College of Business podcast network. To learn more, visit us at business.fau.edu/podcasts and follow Dean Gropper on Twitter at FAU Business Dean.